Hi everybody in YouTube, this is TigerLily011982. I'd like to thank you all for watching my magic video, so I decided to make another one. This week I did an ally deck, and allies are similar to slithers except for that they only help your board instead of all slivers on the board. So they are very useful, very quick, and my friends hate them. So the first card I'm going to show you is, I put these in the deck, they're called Iona's Judgment. It's exile target creature or enchantment. The reason I put them in the deck is because of things like Avacyn or Deathless Angel or anything that can make somebody's board indestructible. This exiles them, so it still gets rid of the stuff they put out. Of course, there's the all favorite Naturalize for the people who do the nice little artifacts like Door to Nothingness or Acroma, Requiem, and things like that. The first ally I'm going to show you is Acroma's Battle Singer. She has haste, and whenever she hits the battlefield, all your allies have haste. So everyone on your board can attack. So that makes her a little useful. This guy I really like. He's Aldim Alchemist. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But you tap him and you can steal a card from anyone's graveyard equal to or less than the number of allies you have on your board. So you destroy somebody's entire board. Hey, let me see your graveyard. This guy's fun too. It's an Undo Cleric. And whenever an ally hits the battlefield, whenever he or an ally hits the battlefield, you gain that much life. So you have 20 allies. Every time you play an ally, you gain 20 or more life. I have Orn Relief's Survivalist. All he does, and I have a lot of these that do that, is whenever he or another ally hits the battlefield, you get to put a 1/1 counter on him or any other ally that says that. So there's a pretty good pumpable ability. This is McKindon Shield Mage. He's a defender. He's an 03 defender, but he has that same pumpable ability. So you put out 3 allies after him, all of a sudden you have a 3/6 wall. So that pumpable ability is really, really cool. Now this I put in because I have a friend who's really good at getting you down to 1 to 2 life really quickly. So you put this enchantment down. It's called Near Death Experience, and at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 1 life, you win the game. It's mean if they don't notice it. This I put in the deck just to screw with people because it irritates them. It's called Telepathy, and your opponents have to play with their hands revealed, so you always can see what's in their hands. So that is always fun. This is Bajora's Brigade. Again, he's another one that is just a 1/1 pumpable, but he's only an attacker because he can't block. Then I have a Vastwood Animalist. What's nice is you can tap him, and whenever target land you control becomes an XX elemental creature until end of turn, where X is the number of allies you control, and it's still land. So again, you get a bunch of allies on the board, somebody attacks you with this huge creature. Hey, guess what? I block with this. Jajora Brigade. It's another ally. Whenever Jajora Brigade or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, you may have an ally creature you control gain vigilance until end of turn. So basically you can attack without tapping. Chidora Archer is another one. They made a lot of elf allies. Whenever Chidora Archer or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, You may have to draw or archer deal damage to target creature with flying equal to the number of allies you control. So if you're against a flying deck, which you've noticed I don't have any flyers in this deck really, that is really, really helpful. This is Grey-Pelt Hunter. This is another one that all he does is he puts a +1/+1 counter on him whenever an ally hits the battlefield, but he has trample. So he starts out as a 2/2. I've had him all the way up to a 16/16 with trample. There's another Edema Occultist, which you tap him, you can steal a creature out of somebody's graveyard. This one is called Mind Control. Basically, if you're low on creatures, steal somebody else's, and that creature's yours. This guy is called Kazindu Blade Master. He's another one who is the +1/+1s, but what's cool about him is he has first strike and vigilance. I usually put one of this guy on a Greek card I'll show you later. It's called Savage Silhouette. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 and has regen. So you pay 2 and you can regenerate it, which is really useful when people start targeting your creatures. This is called Reoccurring Sight. It's a sorcery. Draw a card equal to the number of cards in target opponent's hand. And then it also has Rebound, which means you can do it again at the beginning of your upkeep, but you have to exile this card from your graveyard. Now this is the green card I usually put Savage Silhouette on. It's called Halibag's Druid. What's so good about her is you tap her and she adds X mana to your mana pool equal to the number of allies of one specific color. I have 4 of her in the deck, so she is really useful, particularly since I built a 5-color ally deck. You get a few of her out on the board real quickly and your mana problems are solved. Jaborgan Brigard, I think I showed you this one already. Yeah, he's the one that can't block, and he gets the 1/1 counters. This is Treasure Hunt. This is reveal a card from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. You put all cards you revealed this way into your hand. So it's a useful way to get cards into your hand, and it helps you get to those creatures you want to get to faster. This guy's Tusk Grunt. He's another one that gives +1/+1 counters, but he has haste, so get him out, attack real quick with him. This is an artifact I mentioned earlier. I threw it into the deck just to have it because I think it's a cool artifact and I got it in a shiny. It's called Door to Nothingness. If you have 2 of every land, tap and sacrifice Door to Nothingness, target player loses the game. So get him out, get a couple of Hazabard Druids, tap, 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 everybody's dead. This one is Namar Sellsword. This is another one that is +1/+1 counters. So as you can see, this deck is really into pumpables. This guy is called Seagate Lordmaster. And when you tap him, you can draw a card for each ally that you have. So it's a really good idea with a couple of these allies to throw in something that gives you unlimited cards in your hand. There are lands that do that. There are also sorceries and things that do that. This one is a good little card to have to try to save your skin. It's called All Strike. The next time target creature would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage and you gain that much life instead. So it's a really good card to hold until they try to smack you with something big. It's also a really good card if you're really down to try to just save your butt. Okay, this is Conqueror's Pledge. I threw this in because sometimes I was having problems before I've got my Hazabard Druids of getting creatures on the board. So this is a cost of 5, and you can kick it 6. If you paid the 5, you put 6 1/1 white Kithkin soldiers out. If you paid the 11, you get 12. This guy I really like. People hate him. He's called Halimar Excavator. Whenever he or another ally enter the battlefield under your control, target opponent has to throw the X top cards of his library into the graveyard, where X is the number of allies you control. I have wiped somebody's deck out with that card alone. Okay, this is Talamos Paladin. He's cool because he is one of the ones that do the 1/1 counters, but he's also one that gives all your creatures lifelink until end of turn. So that's really fun about him. I put Dragon's Blood in here because it's a tap 3 and put a 1/1 counter on target creature. So it was another way just to pump up my creatures faster. This is one of the sorceries I was talking about where you can have no maximum hand size. It's called Praetor's Council. Return all cards from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Praetor's Council, and you have no maximum hand size the rest of the game. So that's always fun. This is Haligard Diabolist. Whenever he or another ally enter the battlefield under your control, target opponent loses that much life for each ally you have on the board. So that's a pain in the butt for people. This one I put in the deck and people really, really hate it. It's called Wild Pair. Whenever a creature comes into the battlefield, you may, if you played it from your hand, you may search your library for a creature card which has the same total power and toughness and put it into play, and then shuffle your library. So basically you get a free creature every time you put out a creature. This one I put in the deck. It's Brilliant Ultimatum. You remove the top 5 cards of your library, you hand them to one of your opponents, they separate them into 2 piles. One you have to discard or remove from the game. The other one you get to play without paying their mana cost. So whatever pile you choose, everything you get to play. And this one, of course, is a standard. It's called Overrun. Creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample until end of turn. So you've just smacked a bunch of people with big creatures. Well, thanks for watching. If there's anything you would like to see me add to the videos, please comment below. And have a nice day.